Hello everyone, how are we all doing? Everybody good? I can see we've got a few people in chat already having a little chin wag. I see you Thea, and I also see you too, Black Rose, hello. And we've got Ulrika as well. Hi Ulrika, how you doing? I'm a bit chucked together today. I've been messing about with lights. Hi Marilise, nice to see you. It's too light to have all the lights on, but it's too dark to, yeah, it's just the light's really weird today. It's absolutely chucking it down outside, and it's just been a really like dark day. And if I pull the blind down, it's too dark. So that's not working. But with all the lights on, everything seemed to be really like overexposed for some reason. So I don't know what's going on. It is it a jacket or a shirt? It's actually somewhere between the two. It does have buttons on it, like you can fasten it up like a coat. And it's got really good pockets. I love good pockets, and it's also got a fuzzy hood as well. So yeah, it's somewhere between the two. I would call it like an autumn something or other. Like it's an in between. It's pretty cold though. Again, like we've got this really weird weather today. It's quite mild outside, but because there's no sunshine, the house isn't very warm. So rather than have some sort of heating on, it's better just to put a cozy layer on and not have the heating on. But I will need to put the heating on later because it is dropping cold at night. Anyway, as you can see behind me, if you can see, I've got my little pumpkin lights up the back, and I've got my little bat lights. If any of you saw the wee picture I posted this morning on the community tab, I've got my little bat lights. So I'm kind of trying to embrace the spooky theme a little bit. I've got my little polymer clay pumpkins as well that we made a little while back. And in my hair, I don't know if you see this or not, this hair clip, it's like a skeleton hand. So that is my contribution of spooky for today. Hi Elise, how you doing? It is cozy, Ulrika. It's very good indeed. I like cozy things, so we're off to a good start. It has kept me remarkably warm today, so I'm not complaining. So what we've got to do today is our spooky scrapbook page. I'll just pop you onto the screen here. Ooh, I think with the lights in this setting, it actually makes it feel like a bit cozier, a bit warmer. Not so bad for, into the autumn period. So I've got basically everything I had last week, and I've done the same thing. I've like picked out a short list of things that might make a good picture. But I haven't really made on decisions or any decisions on composition or all those kinds of things. So we're going to do that a bit together today. I don't think we'll get this finished today, but I will finish it in the next day or so and post it on the socials. I'm sure I've mentioned before I'm disappearing next week, so I kind of want everything buttoned up before I go. Hello, Nye, how are you? Nice to see you. You like the setup? It's very snuggly. Snuggly, that's a good word, okay. Snuggly, snuggly it is. So yeah, I'm going to show you what I've got first. Pop this out the way just now. And I will show you all the things. Now, one of the things I said last week was the odd time that I do some scrapbooking, the thing that usually starts me off is colour, and it's the colour is the thing that I have in my head, and then I kind of like work around that. That hasn't happened this time, and I don't really have an explanation for it. So the types of colours I had in my head, orange is one, purple and black, like Halloweeny type colours, um, and just sort of darker muted colours. So the type of stuff that I've got, let me just grab some of this. I've got some washi tapes here. This is like quite a gothicy, so it's like gold and black and like red, so roses and things like that. So I'm not so sure about that. I've also got like purplish type ones here. I've got two like that, and this is just sort of like old script type stuff. I don't know whether I was going to go like more sort of vintage. The thing that's kind of popping into my head though is I did do this owl page before, and I used kind of like purples and blacks, so I don't know if I want to go down that route again. So we shall see. We shall see. So other stuff I've got here. Ooh, that's exciting. Yeah, so I've got some of these stained glass stickers, and I've got a really shiny one as well. Butterfly's really pretty. That's actually it's more purples that are in it. It's like purpley bluey colours in the background. Got some of these stained glass stickers and just a few wee charms and things. I've got this wee crow here. I thought we might put him to good use. And one of these little vellum books that I showed you before, that's astrology, so there's like stars and moons and things in there. And I brought a clock again, remember last time I brought a clock, and just a few other wee bits and pieces that I thought might fit in. So I haven't really got an aesthetic together yet, but this is, I suppose, is a very physical mood board, isn't it? That's probably the best description. Another skull there as well. So we've got this little book that I used last week as well. I've kept this out because there's some pumpkins in this. Probably wouldn't use the garden gates and the flowers and everything. But there's quite a few stickers that are just the pumpkins, or they just stick to the orangey colour. So I thought that might be a thing as well. What else have I got here? I've got some spooky looking castles. Again, this is going back to the purple though, which I'm kind of like leaning away from. I've got some old kind of vintage style windows here. So I thought something like that might be cool. You know, we can maybe make that a focal point. You know, have that in the middle and you know, have the window open and things could be popping out or whatever. So we've got something like that. Owls, obviously. And again, pick this one out specifically because it's quite sort of Halloweeny with the pumpkins. This one looks a bit grumpy, if you ask me. It looks like a pissed off owl. So I think that might be more a route to take with those kinds of things. And I've just got some dark coloured papers here. I thought that might make a good background. And I've got this wine red. I know this was like trundled out last week, but I'm kind of determined to use it, so might put that into the mix. And I've got some, oh goodness me, flinging things away. These are really nice papers. I used these ones last time, again, but there's ones with more kind of like blue in it. And these are all, this is called the Lost Ship series. So some of them are quite nautical. But again, I thought even if I snipped out a few bits and bobs, owls, there's a surprise. We could maybe use something like that. But I've got these darker ones as well, and these are more sort of gothic and fitting, I would feel. I mean, that's kind of fits the bill, doesn't it? So plenty of options here. So I really just want to find a starting point. Like that's quite, with the candles, like I quite like that one as well. So that's what we've got to play with. We've got lots of stuff to play with. That cutting pad is so cute. It's so dinky, isn't it? Considering my normal one, the one that's over on the like packing station table, it's like A2. So going from that to this one's like, oh, so cute. So cute, so cute. Hi Susan, how you doing? Ulrika likes the window frames. There's loads of really nice ones in there. I've got green ones as well. Obviously I like green. I'm quite taken with this one though, but I'm not sure that it's like sort of gothic enough for me. But we'll have a wee look at them in just a minute. But I feel like I need to pick a starting point here. I like these papers because they're a really good size for this particular journal. You know, you're taking up kind of most of the space with that. So I might pick out one of those as a starting point, or even mount that on here so that it takes up the width of the scrapbook page as well. So maybe that might be a good place to start. I've got some sheets with words on as well. I might dig through and see if I can find any spooky words, but I'm not so sure about that. That might take up too much time. Right, let me just offload this to the side slightly. I think I'm going to put these away. I don't think I want to go that purple. They're really, really pretty though. I would like to show you them because they are. Again, this was part of the bundle of stuff I told you last time that I acquired. Like these were given to me. They're so pretty though. So they are on transparent paper, but the designs are just lovely. Like there's so much detail in them. I love this one with the staircase. You know, they're so pretty, but we'll maybe put them to good use another time. We've got some different designs. This one here as well, this little gothic castle. Really like it. This style of castle, it makes me think of places like Romania and you know that sort of architecture style. Like I really, really like it. And the one with the moon's really cool as well. I like that too. So there you go. A little bit of eye candy for you. Oh, Susan, you're not great. That's not good. If you want to share, please feel free. If not, that's fine. Happy to have you here, though. You can have a wee afternoon and listen to me ramble on talking rubbish. Oh yeah, Nye, are you in the UK now? Are you here? Here. Down the road. Right, let's pop those out. We're not going to use them. Again, I'll do what I did last time. I'll just have like a discard pile behind me. And I'll kind of like offload stuff as we go if we decide not to use it. So let's oh no, started already. I've had a bit of a disastrous day in terms of my hand. I'd posted up on the Discord this morning when I was sorting all this stuff out. My hand basically just spasmed, but it spasmed like in the way and not out the way, which is quite unusual for me. But I was holding plastic tubs that stack up together that hold all my scraps. So when my hand spasmed, they all kind of like folded in on themselves and just went poof, and everything just disappeared over the floor. And I was like, oh my god. So that was fine. But at lunchtime, normally have pizza on live stream night, but we had pizza last night, so I made a cottage pie earlier. And when I was tipping out the potatoes once they boiled, I dropped the pan, and of course the lid came off and they landed in the sink and it all splashed back up all over my face, burnt my face. I had to change my t-shirt. So it's not been a good day for the hand. We're not doing very well on that front. So I'm kind of like hoping that that's it over today now and that I'm in a safe space and that I'm not going to like poke myself in the hand or anything. It is possible though, just you know, just so you know. So let's have a wee look here. Let's see what I need to take off. I might just stick that down. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'm kind of glad that you enjoyed this last time as well. It was nice to, it's nice to do something a wee bit different. As I say, I wouldn't necessarily, you know, make this like a regular thing because I really don't scrapbook that regularly. However, it's nice in a stream to do stuff, and I feel like this is like a little bit sort of like not low effort, that's the wrong phrase, but there's no stress attached to it. You know, you're not trying to finish things before your paint dries or you know that kind of stuff. So it's nice to be able to go at like quite a leisurely pace, especially since this is usually quite a quiet and kind of laid back stream. So I for one am very grateful that you guys enjoyed yourselves last time. It's nice. You are indeed visited London, have successfully moved to Leicester. Congratulations and welcome. I'm just sorry about the weather. That's kind of par for the course though. You're gonna have to get used to the weather now. I might just move that up a little bit. Oh yeah, get that stuck down. Oh, that's a really nice background. I like that. It's kind of moody, isn't it? It's kind of moody. I might have to tuck that in with my tweezers a wee bit. One of the things about having this particular book as a scrapbook is the binding's quite loose because it's hand bound and it's not a particularly tightly bound book. So you're not necessarily going to get, you know, when you tuck something in at the gutter, it's not necessarily going to hold it in place because the pages do, like there's a lot of play in them. But that's okay, we don't mind. If I do that, ooh. So you can see there the paper's actually starting to pull away on the other side, but this is ancient. This Mr. Jem bought me this as a present years ago, and I just hadn't found the use for it yet. Was all. Right. So let's get the little sewing scissors out. Just take this off. Do 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 do. There we go. Visited Cass Arts, by the way, really difficult practice of self-control. Cass Arts is so easy to bankrupt yourself in. Yes, yes, there is that. I don't even know if we've got one in Edinburgh, do you know that? There used to be one in Glasgow. Again, I don't even know if that's still there. I mean, the last time I was in Glasgow was July, and that was for Glyn's memorial gig. And obviously, I wasn't really thinking about art shops at that point. But the thing is, I would have walked past it when I was in the city on the way to the hotel, and I didn't register whether it was still there or not. So I must find that out. But I don't actually know if we've got one in Edinburgh. I tend not to venture into the city centre in Edinburgh unless I'm getting the train for another purpose, in which case obviously I would go to smart shops. The last time I was in Edinburgh, I went to the Lego shop instead though, and Cass Arts and Lego store in the same day. That my bank balance can't take that, so it's probably best that I haven't found that out yet. Right, that's a bit better there. Purposefully left it for the last day when I'd already spent most of the holiday money. That's a tactic. That is a tactic. There is one in Edinburgh, Rika. Right, okay. I wonder where it is. It'll be in the city centre. yeah, so just talking about going into Edinburgh, one of the things for me is we are east of Edinburgh. So we can basically fall out onto the A1, which is the big trunk road that joins this side of Scotland into England. But if you go the other way, it takes you into Edinburgh. And along there, there's the biggest retail park I've ever seen in my entire life, and we can get a lot of stuff there without having to go into the city because if you Edinburgh's not designed to drive in, so we tend to go there for stuff. I know they've got a massive hobbycraft out there, but I think the Cass Art store must be in the city centre. George Street, well, I know where that is too. Yeah, okay, good. I shall do that the next time I'm in the city centre, which will probably be a bit nearer the day that begins with C that we won't talk about just yet. The Lego store is dangerous, Thea. It is absolutely, it's a terrible idea. It's one of my favourite terrible ideas. Right, I kind of like this one because there's not too much, like that's more like a background, that one with the spider's web. Or this one. See, this one's got a little bit of sort of yellowy orange in it, so that would kind of go with my pumpkin thing. And that would also tie in with my my pissed off owls. Yeah. I kind of like this one better. He looks pretty pissed off as well, actually. Oh, okay, right. This is just going to turn into a scrapbook full of owls. I can see it happening. Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, I like this one. I do like that one. I know stuff like this isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I quite kind of like it. Right, so we can put those. There's a little. Let me just put this back in here. Yeah, there's a little sleeve for them. Stick that out the way now. Not going to use those ones. So we'll pop them out there. I've got really itchy nose. That's strange. Between Castle Street and Frederick Street. Okay, yeah, George Street's quite long, isn't it? Right, okay. So I'm thinking I might just try and sort of centre that. Let's do that. Just trying to make sure. I actually like the way the light is. I might try and do this more often, especially now that we're coming into the winter months. Because one of the things I struggle with is more when I'm filming and, you know, when we're looking at colours, for some reason, my camera, it seems to want to like go nuts with the white balance all the time and it overcompensates a lot. Maybe having more ambient lighting like this might help. The extra light that I've got on this one that you can see the reflection of here, I do have it on like a warm setting though. That might be a thing. Right, let's see if I can get this somewhere in the middle. I have to decide, is that way round the right way round? Do we need to have a right way round? Maybe that way. No, I think that way. Seasonal lights. Ulrika's saying I've been making collage papers with watercolours and carry paper so I can do some torn edges. Wasn't until I was tidying up realised I'd used all shades of blue. I meant to do some autumnal colours and totally failed. Well, that just gives you an excuse to go and do some more, Ulrika. Yeah. Yeah. That is not straight, is it? Straight enough. Oh, that looks good already. Yeah. Okay. Right, I'm going to have to deal with the window situation now. Because I kind of want to put an owl behind a window. So let me see what we've got. That's probably... That's tail in it. That one doesn't open though. Boo. That's too fancy. Or maybe this one? Maybe this one? Well, this one's got a picture in it and it opens. Oh, that's fancy. Good grief. The fans and peacocks things. Nope. I kind of like the darker ones. Oh, now there we go. I think that's a bit more like it. I feel like that's more in keeping with these kind of colours as well. Okay, right, I think that one. Now, whether I have to have Mr. Owly or the pumpkins. We could have a little bit of both. Oh, okay, that might be an option. This owl's too big. I would literally only get the really cheesed off owl in that, no pumpkins. Oh, because what I was thinking, if I used this one, we could have him in there. Or even if we wanted to get a feel of those pumpkins, I could cut out these other two and we could, you know, like we could stick them somewhere else. Although that one looks kind of good in the frame with the orange. What do you guys think out of these two? Have we got any preferences? Would love to hear your thoughts. I'll put the rest of these away. The one with the moon, they've both got moons here. Orange moon. So the really cheesed off owl. Well, see, I think because we've got like the spooky branches as well, I think that kind of might be enough. The orange moon, okay. Too many moons. Okay, well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these so that they've actually got, like, so they actually hinge. Right, okay, orange moon it is then. Good job in making decisions, guys. I'm sorry, Mr. Not so quite pissed off owl. You can go next time. Right, so we've got a bit of I don't think I want to unbend those shutters. I think I want to leave them, bend them, not unbend them. So he's going to look pretty good in there. So that would be like one thing. Okay, cool. Right, so we've kind of got our aesthetic going now. So this is where I start to pick through everything else and decide. I have a compulsion for pumpkins, though I do want the pumpkins. So I get some skeletons on the go. Maybe have that in there or something, right? Okay. Not these ones. That's not a moon, that's the earth. Okay, let me see if I can find some pumpkins in here too. I'm sure I saw like one that was just like a stack of pumpkins, that one there. That might fit the bill. Okay. Tell me about this thing about pumpkins. So I don't want any of these. Is my clock going to fit in? Squeezing clocks in as well. You put the bottom of the owl picture in front of the window. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's such a good idea. I love it. See, I could get a little bit of this in as well. Oh, right. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Thank you for your suggestion. That was a very good suggestion. Clock might still fit in then with what we're doing. So I've got a couple of black buttons as well, just as we like embellishments. They might still be. I'm feeling these washi tapes, that's going to be a no as well, because that's going back to the purple thing. And this now doesn't fit the bill either. Okay, doing so well here. Okay, right, well let's try and do something with that then. So I have to be careful where I'm going to cut them off though. Do I want them in the middle? If I put the owl in the middle, the moon is then off center. So I think maybe we have the moon in the set. Right, okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Grab a pencil here. Just so I know where I'm cutting off to. So we'll save this bit for later. It's a pencil. Yes, that was that's very fancy. That's the scroller box black wing pencils. I've got a box of them. Now here's that top pencil line. So if I chop that off about there, I don't need to be very careful with this because obviously I'm going to stick it to the back of the window frame part. So, hi Jan. Stuck in the roadworks. Oh no, that doesn't sound like much fun. That's oddly satisfying. Right, I need to chop a wee bit off each side as well, though. Okay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Grumpy Owl is grumpy, yeah. Year 7, what age children is that, Jan? Because we don't have the same we don't have the same like class names as you do. Hello, Bridget's Ember. Recently bought junk journal supplies. Excited to get started. Oh, it's fun. It is fun. 11 and 12-year-olds. Okay, that's like our... Susan, you might be able to help me. 11, 12, that's like first year? Would that be about right? Yeah, first year in senior school, yeah. I hope I haven't lost all of you. I maybe have lost all of you. Internet situation here. Let me just amend this slightly. Okay, hopefully we've still got everyone. I am hoping. Have I lost you all? I think I might have lost everyone. Although it says excellent connection. Might need some communication here, guys. See if you guys can hear me. Can someone contact me on the Discord? Because if I don't get any response, I am going to have to restart the stream. In the meantime, fix my little owl. My chat crashed. Yeah, okay. Okay, Thea's still typing. Oh, everybody's typing. Okay, so you guys can obviously still hear me and still see what's going on. Yay! Okay, you're here. That's good. It's just that I can't see what's going on. I don't really want to refresh this now in case it screws everything up. Okay, well, there we go. At least you can see that. I don't know how to fix this. This has never happened. So basically, you guys are all still there, which is great. I now on YouTube can't see anything at all. I can't see the chat and I can't see the playback, but I've still got everything in OBS, but that means I don't have the chat in OBS. So I don't know how to rectify this for myself. Oh, pop out chat. Let's see what happens if I do this. Oh, okay. Hi. I can see the chat now that I've popped it out. I don't know how to fix this. It's not really that important, honestly. It's just nice to see how much of a delay there is between OBS and YouTube, because obviously that lets me see both. But I'm not going to jeopardize the chat. As long as you don't shut down OBS, it should be fine. Right, okay. I'm gonna try and refresh this and see what happens. Okay, guys. If I do lose you, I'll start up a fresh stream. Oh, don't do that. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Right. Are we all still here? Oh, we've been popped out. Well, you've popped back in now. You wish you'd lost us. No, I don't. Giraffe fever. I can see you. Okay, good. Right. I think that's us. I think we're okay. Yeah. Okay. Marvelous. Well, now I know that that works. That's actually a nice problem to have not had up till now, and it's one that I would have thought we would have encountered before now. So every day's a school day. Anyway, our little out here's looking suitably annoyed. I might cut off that shutter. Should I just leave it? Or do we want him in the middle at the top? I don't really like. I want to kind of keep this, you know, a bit of colour. Just to solve the problem. Should I cut the shutters off? I can't leave that sticking out that much. That's a lot. Okay, I can do a little bit of fussy cutting here now, as Black Rose suggested, and make this into like a desk. I'll put my specs on this. What's that sitting in? There's a something here, and I don't know what it is. It looks like leaves. So maybe I want to keep them. Do I want to keep them? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Oh. I need to remember to breathe when I'm doing this. Oh. As long as I don't destroy the pumpkin, then everything will be a-okay. I should probably do this with a scalpel on the cutting mat. After the events of today, that might even be, no, it's a pumpkin. I was going to say that might even be an apple. After the events of today with my hand, I would rather not use a scalpel right now. Let's not do that. I don't have a death wish. Yeah, we'll cut that more or less straight across. Woo! That was fun. I don't think my chat's doing much. Do you know that? Oh. See now that I have to cut that off. Only use the scalpel if you had a first aider with you, and I can't be my, well, I suppose I can be my own first aider, can't I? Mr. Jem is categorically not here. He's like non-existent just now because he's trying to get, like, he's trying so hard to get everything done before we disappear off. And he's kind of gone into beast mode, and we're literally like passing ships in the night just now. Last night was the earliest he's been in probably about a week and a half, and that was 9:15 last night. So, but he's starting to look very tired. So I told him to not be an idiot and, you know, remember that there's this thing called sleep that people get. We're using a scalpel, not less than one back on speed tile. Now I want Jan to sit in the background at the packing station just in case Jen's using cotton tools. And just imagine like peering over my shoulder every now and then. Oh, that's funny. That would be really funny. This imposing presence, imposing but important presence in the background. It's just Jan sitting there doing her own thing. Ah. Rika's a paediatric first aider, but also too far away. Yeah, that might take a wee while. Oh, right, okay, I'm in. I've been dying to use this this washi tape. I like it. I like it a lot. Ooh. Oh, don't do that. I kind of want like a torn edge on it as well. Oh! Wow, that was interesting. It's okay. We're all right. We're fine. We're fine. The works of John Keats. Okay, cool. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a torn edge on this. Let's This is weird. This. It's not. I don't know what it is. Let's cut that there. Oh, hi, Mary. Do you know something? YouTube's rubbish at notifications now. Like, it's just terrible. I know that we thought there was like funky stuff going on, but I'm at the point now where YouTube is recommending me my own videos. Like, come on. It's just ridiculous. Right, so I think I'm going to have to cut the shutters off. I think that's going to be a thing. How am I going to get like a torn edge on this? Oh, okay. All right then, that's the yarn. Yeah. Okay, that went better than I thought it would. Might just keep that. I do have army pressure bandages though. Gem's hand bandages. Yeah, one of the things that we always have a stash of here is surgical super glue. There's just, yeah, because we have to. And it's not for me, it's for Mr. Gem. One of the most common accidents that the boys have are cutting themselves badly, you know, like a deep cut that could probably do with stitches. And surgical super glue is the way forward for us for stuff like that. The only thing about it though is that you have to like really scrub out the wound. Because obviously if you super glue it back together and there's any sort of dirt or bacteria in there, you're essentially holding it in there so it gets infected. So that's the bit the boys don't like, and they're all big girls about it. And I'm like, you need to suck it up, boys. Right, I was thinking maybe this, and then this. I can move that over a wee bit. Oh, what do we think to that for an idea? Reconnection successful. Good grief today. I'm gonna have to refresh this again. Like again. Toss the hamster some treats. Right, we should be all right now. Sorry. I don't know what I'm apologising for, but because there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. I don't know what happened there because um I didn't actually disconnect to the internet at that point. So that was weird. Right, okay. God, this is painfully slow today, isn't it, guys? And I'm not talking about the internet. What's it doing now? I'm so suspicious of everything now. Oh, 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 there we go. McDonald's. Oh no, Susan. That's one thing I don't envy you for is McDonald's. Not for me. I always think it smells a lot better than it tastes. Just my opinion. Not really. To be fair, we don't eat a lot of. I mean, we'll get a takeaway every now and then, but we don't. We're not close to a lot of like fast food places like McDonald's or Burger King or whatever. And that's kind of always been the case for us, just because we're rural. So it's kind of never been a thing. But McDonald's in particular, I'm just like, oh no, no thanks. I'm good. Glue stick. Where did you go? There. Foggy as hell down here. Guessing you're getting weather affecting the signal. No, the internet's been stable all day. Like actually, all day, which is quite unusual. Oh, and I see I want some McDonald's. No, I say just would not be my first choice. We've had this conversation a lot though. See if you could amalgamate the best bits from all the fast food places, then you would have something worth going for. But I always find that they can be outstanding with some things, and then they totally fall down on others. But McDonald's, nah. Okay, we'll need to cut that bit off. Okay, well that's kind of good. We've made a start now. We've got something that looks something like something. Okay. Kind of want to leave this little bit of spider web poking out as well. I feel like this dude needs to feature. Don't know where I'm going to put you, but I'm going to put you somewhere. I feel like that should go down there also. That feels like a good place for it. Is this a sticker? I think this is a sticker. I thought it was just a sticker. Yeah, it's a sticker. I don't know what was happening between my eyes and my brain there, but I read your comment, Ulrika, and I thought it said you've had cocaine coffee there. Like that says occasional, not cocaine. I was like, what is she talking about? Big Mac. Burger King cooked the lettuce into the burger. Ooh. The McRib is back. What's a McRib? Oh, I've got a wrinkle. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, yeah. The moon. Homemade burgers to be forward. Okay, so we've got a moon. What is a McRib? What is it? I don't know what it is. A McRib. It sounds. I'm hungry. I'm sorry, Black Rose. You're supposed to leave the foodie conversations for when I go away. Yeah, that's funny though. I like it. Okay, so we've got like this little bit of like writing desk type. That's made me want to put like writing implements or something in. I do feel like I want to get this little pumpkin sticker out though. It'll be reconstituted something. Bird's eye quarter pounders. I really like Miri the bird's eye chicken quarter pounders. They're so yeah, those ones with chicken. Yeah, they're so good because they've got yeah they do smaller ones. They do a normal chicken burger, and I think it's more like breadcrumby coating on it. But the quarter pounders is like puffed rice, like cereal that's on them, and they're so filling. Think of a king rib from the chippy. I've never had a king rib from a chippy. I don't know what that is either. Is that not just like big dods of reconstituted pork? Is that like accurate? Oh, no batter. Them's the ones, little crispy bits, yeah, Mary. Here, here, here. I feel like if I stick that down there, I might regret it, but I say I wanted to keep some of the spider web showing, so I'm going to go for it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Cut this off now that it's stuck down a little bit. Yeah, we get a lot of, obviously because we've got beef cattle, we do get a lot of local stuff like that, so especially for like barbecues and stuff, it's good. A rectangle of meat, oh no! Yeah, that's a good shout. If anybody hasn't tried, though it's in the UK, that is, if anybody hasn't tried the quarter pounder chicken burgers by Bird's Eye, they're really good. The good thing about McDonald's is that you can find something to eat everywhere in the world if you're a picky eater. but are okay with McDonald's. That's true. That is a thing though. When I was looking at excursions for when we go away, one of the boat tours, it tells you where the meeting point is, and it says it's across the road from a Burger King. And I said that to Mr. Jem. I says, well, if we're really struggling at any point for food, there's always a Burger King. Not that I'm that kind of person. See, when I go on holiday, I'm the person that tries all the weird stuff. Things that I've never heard of. I will take one for the team and try stuff. Okay. I feel like maybe we should put him up there. I kind of want to cut this bit of. I don't know whether. Yeah, I'm going to cut that off. I try not to think about content as black pudding and haggis are two of my favourite foods. Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm not bothered about stuff like that. I'm not into McDonald's because it doesn't taste good. Um, so not to say it doesn't taste good. It's just not that great. I mean, I would eat it if I was starving and I was stuck. I would eat it obviously, but I have other choices. But black pudding and stuff like that. That's just how it goes, and it tastes good. I am a brave one with food. I'm a very brave one with food. As long as I can be absolutely sure that there is no nuts in it, I will try anything once. There was quite a lot of when we were in Mauritius. There was quite a lot of interesting, and it was more food combinations than actual food. There was quite a lot of sort of odd fish and things, and they like to curry a lot of things in Mauritius for obvious reasons. If you think about the countries that surround Mauritius, there's a lot of Indian influence. And I was the person that was eating an unidentified curried fish for breakfast. That was me. Mr. Jem's looking at me like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, it's really good. I love having curry for breakfast. Um, so yeah, I am that person. I've tried shark. Things like that. I'll always give it a bash. I don't like and it's a texture thing again. Where we talked about mushrooms before. I will not eat steak, and I've tried it with venison. I've tried it with beef, and the texture of biting into a steak just gives me the absolute creeps. But that is a texture thing, not a taste thing. But see, I will try anything once. I'm happy to try. I'm not scared. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to spit it back out and not eat it again. Okay, I want to add a little bit more white now because I've added Mr. Skelly Bones here. But this dude looks as if he's having like a wee party to himself. That's too much. Maybe I could cut out one of these. Not sure I've made the right decision now. I feel like that's just like... I need more pumpkins. Thea was forced to try shrimp, and that was a tough one. Never again. Yeah, no, we were basically you'll eat what's put down in front of you, and if you don't want it, then starve. There were things though. Obviously, everybody's got preferences, but I was very lucky in that sense. Actually, I liked most of the things my mum made. Right, what am I going to do about that? I feel as if we're not jiving here. Let me have a little look in the astrology book, see what's in here. Okay, this is not what I was expecting. I thought this was all like moons and constellations and stuff in here, and it's not. Well, that's disappointing. Oh no, I've lifted the astrology one. That's why there's an astronomy one. That's not even reading it. Oh, where is it? I don't know where it is. I'm thinking I might cut out these pumpkins. Fussy cutting round this might be a bit of an issue because I'm going to get owl claws in there. I don't suppose that'll matter though. Go for it. It'll be fine. Could pan pastel the skull? Yeah, I could. When Thea was little, her favourite food was spinach. What is wrong with you? Pan pastel the skull. Okay, I think we might pan pastel the skull. I still think I should do it. Lumps of raw ginger. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah, spinach is fine, Jan, but to have it as a favourite food as a child, that's a bit strange. And saying that this is coming from the woman that used to eat olives out the jar as a child and still does it to this day, by the way. And that was one of my favourite things. Still is. Pip likes an olive as well. In fact, so does Jock now that I think about it. We're all into olives. Woo, our little Jack Russell, she didn't. She didn't like banana either, which I thought was really strange. Considering she was like a waste disposal unit for everything else, she didn't like banana. And every morning when I used to go for a run, I would open my banana, I would peel my banana, because I got to the point again. I've told this story before about forcing myself to have something to eat before I went out for a long run, and I got to the point where I could just about stomach half a banana. So I used to share the rest of the banana with the dogs, and we would come and sit at my feet expectantly along with the two collies, which for some of the time was Mist and Jock, and then later Pip and Jock. And every single morning we would go through the same thing, and I would look at her and I would say to her, "We've been through this before, you don't like banana." And I would hold like a little bit down to her and let her sniff it, and then she would turn her nose up at it, give me the accusatory stare, and then wait to see if she was going to get something else. And that went on like every morning from when she was about 6 until she was no longer with us. It's just like, I'm not giving you anything else. But it's as if she wanted to like it. But I just thought that was such an odd thing, because say she would eat more or less anything else, and she was a little gremlin for stealing stuff as well. And I just thought banana was quite an odd thing for her to not like. We're talking about tongue. I'm okay with tongue as well. Jan once tried tongue thinking it was lovely looking ham and nearly threw up. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's hilarious. I do like there's certain things though, like see when you get pork, not boar taint. Boar taint is very specific, but sometimes you get pork that is a really, really piggy when you cook it. That's I find that a wee bit off-putting, because I've worked on pig units and I associate that smell with alive pigs, not ones that you're cooking. And I can find that a bit off putting. It wouldn't stop me eating it, it's just not a particularly pleasant smell. And there was a stage that before I started buying things from like the butcher and whatnot, there was a stage when I was buying bacon from one of the supermarkets and all the bacon smelt really, really piggy. And I just had to stop eating it. I was like, I just can't, because it's an association smell. It's not, you know, it wasn't because it was particularly off, but it was just quite piggy. And I was like, oh no, no thanks. I associate that smell with like going to work and sitting watching pigs do their thing or not do their thing, as the case may be. Do I want to try and rescue this stock? Maybe. Maybe, maybe. And sausages once that smelled like pig stall had to leave the kitchen. Yeah, it's funny how that. Um, yeah, I don't think I can rescue this stock, but I'm going to try my very hardest. Trying my very hardest to not get the scalpel out. I'm getting there. Ooh. Oh, oh! I thought I'd messed that up there. I haven't. That's so good. Call it little pumpkin. Oh, I feel as if I'm really off centre today. I am off centre. Like I should be about there. I had to move my this camera I think that's what's throwing me off, because normally I may be there. I don't know. You know, in my mind, I'm like, where am I going to stick this other owl? Ooh. Ooh. This is too much concentration, guys. This is intense. I don't like it. Ugh. I'm nearly there, though. I'm nearly there. No. Yes. I'm so pleased with myself for some weird reason. I've got no idea why. I was just like an accomplishment. See, I kind of want, yeah, but see, because he's got written that, that's like moon overload, right? Okay, put it down, Jem. Just let it go. Right. Okay. Planets. The planets don't really fit the aesthetic now either, do they? Yeah. I'm not. I'm not sure after all that effort as well. Now I'm not sure about the pumpkins either. I'm still kind of contemplating another hand. I feel like I want to do that. Right, let me just. Because there's this kind of like dark patch here in the background, which I think like an ET phone home finger might work well there. I might keep a bit of a black border on it though. I don't think that's a terrible idea either. Ooh. Oh. Oh no. Something occurred to me earlier as well, and I thought I must remember to bring that up in the live stream. I talked last week about some stash shop activity that's going to be happening. I'm going to leave it until I come back from Malta, just for the simple reason that if I put this stuff up in the stash shop now, there's only going to be a couple of days and then I'll not be shipping anything out, obviously. Normally when I do take a break, I just leave the I'll leave people to be able to put orders in, but just make people aware that there won't be any there won't be anything going to the post office until whatever date it is. So I think I'm going to leave everything till I come back. So that's going to be like the first couple of days in November. Because I've got some Christmas cards this year. I know I did postcards last time. I've got some actual Christmas cards this year. Obviously the newest Christmas card that y'all helped me with for the local village. I do have rights to distribute that for my own benefit as well. So they're ready to go. So I might have to like get going quite fairly sharp when I get back, but I just thought that made more sense. You never have too many moons. The skull issue is more real looking than the other stuff. Yeah, like it's more an aesthetic thing. I don't know. Maybe. Mhm. Yeah, they're in that. So you see where this dark patch is there. I don't know what I'm doing with my pumpkins now. They're really the pumpkins. Ridiculous. I think I'm gonna have the pumpkins like raised up out of the oh, where are my sticky dots though? I don't know where my sticky dots are. I'm gonna have to go and find some sticky dots. Just be a second. Got absolutely pouring it down outside. Sticky dots, where are you? They're all up here. Two hands, two hands. Oh, oh. Yeah, some sticky. Oh, hi. How are you? Hmm. Found some other stuff as well while I was away back there. Oh, balance there, the realer looking bits. I found these as well. They're tiny, but there's no orange. Oh, there's kind of like yellowish coloured ones. Ooh, and then I've got these bigger ones as well, which I kind of forgot I had too. Kind of like this colour for this. Oh, but that I was actually going for the sticky dots. That's what I was looking for. Oh, so easily distracted. Okay, I don't feel like the keys fit the theme either. Or the wine coloured tissue paper's getting relegated once again. Okay. I've still got this other scrap of room. Oh, that's almost perfect there. You can't really read the writing down here anyway, so sparkly. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this off of here. Yeah. This is such odd tape, but I like it. I just have to try and get this to peel off. I was contemplating, I came very close the other night. Again, Mr. Jem was out working really late, and I've been saying for months that I'm gonna get my guitar out and dust it off. I haven't played the guitar since Glenn passed away, um, and I keep saying one of these days I'm gonna go through and take it out. And I came so close the other night, and then I remembered that if I did that, I was gonna have to cut my nails off, and I don't know why. I don't like that. There's no logic in this, but I like having long nails when I go on holiday. And I was like, okay, right, we'll do that when we get back. So I was nearly in a live stream today with no nails, um, but decided against it. I don't know what's stopping me really. I think it's just a psychological thing, but yeah, that was the contemplation the other night. I was thinking about it though. I'm gonna have to give it a really good clean and a good dust. When I say it, there's several guitars, but um, the my favourite guitar, who is called Betty, by the way, if you're interested, Betty Blue, because she's blue. Okay, let's pop that in there. This feels like a really unfinished edge now, though. I think these kind of grubby looking ones wouldn't be a terrible idea there. Or I think I'm going to be fighting a losing battle with these ones, guys. What do you think? Let's do it for fun. Betty Blue, yeah. It's funny because my other guitars don't have names. Just Betty. But Betty was I should really do this with tweezers. Again, I don't know how dexterous I am for this today. Um yeah, Betty was the first new guitar, like brand new guitar that I bought myself that was well, by my standards, an expensive guitar. And I'd saved up for it, and yeah, I thought she's very pretty as well though, so I thought, where the hell did that go? I'm gonna like find these like stuck to my face for 3 days or something. Where did that go? It's literally not there anymore, and it's not anywhere. That's the one I've stuck down. I don't know where that went. I actually don't know where it is. I knew this was a terrible idea. It's kind of fun though. Oh, for the love of mother. Is it stuck to me? Am I like because I don't know what that is. Oh. Thea said that when we had English classes in elementary school, we had English names, and mine was Betty. Why did you get Betty? God, I'm gonna die. Right, I genuinely don't know what happened to that. Like, I really don't. I'm like looking at myself. I'm like, because sometimes these things get like stuck to my boobs and things, but I don't know. Oh, right. Okay, let's try. Let's try again. Oh my lord. It's really annoying me though because I don't know where it is. Uh, uh. Right, I can see you. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Over a bit, please. There. Oh, yeah, there. I was going to try and fit 3 in there. That might be a bit. Can you guys even see that? That might be a bit ambitious, but I'm going to try. Is it by the clay pumpkins? Oh, you mean here? No, that's just a mark on the table. Maybe it's stuck to the pumpkin. Ew. I don't know. I don't know. Right, let's see if we can go. Oh, no, don't do that. Come back here. No, don't stick to the table either. Oh, there's a blue one. Where did that come from? Oh, wow, this is... Get off! Oh, that is not in a straight line. However, I'm actually quite impressed with myself. Yeah, I've got a blue one here. Where did you come from? Please go back to where you came from. Oh, it's stuck to the desk as well. Oh, I see where you came from. Okay, I'll put you back on there. Right, okay, sidetracked again. Oh, dear. You thought the mark was the sparkly stone? Yeah, well, I can see why though. I know that's just like an imperfection in the desk. I don't actually know how or why or what. It's almost like a chip's been taken out the desk. Anyone would think I might have dropped something on it at some point. Imagine that. Did it stick to the other side? Like, because obviously I wouldn't necessarily see it if it landed on here because it's like the same colour. But I don't think so. It's not inadvertently stuck itself to any other part of the image either. Right, that's just going to have to be an unsolved mystery, and I need to try and forget about it because I will fixate on that and then get really annoyed. Can anybody like action replay in slow mo like that earlier part of the stream and see what direction it went in? Oh, that's funny. Considering I didn't even know I had these though, it's not exactly a big thing. And to be fair, if the dogs were to swallow something like that accidentally, I don't think it's it's small enough that it's not going to cause any problems and would probably just make its exit when it was ready. So, right, okay. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, what was I actually doing? This sticky round things that. Right, so maybe we can have the pumpkins here. I'm going to cut off this a little bit of this branch because if I'm having it on that side, I don't really need that. And I might get the pan pastels. See, I thought I have that there. I feel like this is a bit flat. And I'm not really sure. I think maybe I just need to add some embellishments. Like maybe if that was there. And do I want the other hand? Not really. No, I don't want the other hand. Have the pumpkin stood out a little bit. Oh, we've got the okay, yeah, let's try and find some words. Sparkly dog poop. Yes. Susan's watched back, please. Oh, thanks, Susan. No idea where it went. No, I'm like that. And who knows? Who knows? Right, let me see if I can find any spooky words in here. I keep seeing things now that aren't there. Right, we don't want the white background ones. That's not really. I'll take anything even remotely. Okay, that's like positive affirmations. There's an appropriate one. And it's very literal. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. Well, I kind of just did that, didn't I? It's just that I don't know where it is. Should we use that one? Because that's quite funny. Oh, I was looking for something like sinister and spooky, but that's funny. I like that. Do you think they've got any phrases about pissed off owls? Trying to figure out if that's the bull's moon or whether that's Jock snoring. I think it's Jock. That should go on the page. Okay, yeah. I don't think I've ever had an inside joke on a scrapbook page. Creativity takes courage. It takes stupidity if your name's Jem. Mm, okay, right. Yeah, I think we should do it. I think we should do it. It's quite appropriate. Right, okay, so I tell you what I'm going to do now. I kind of like this wee black button. I think it's just at home there. So I'm going to pan pastel these two. It is Jock that's making the noises. And then I'll put my pumpkins on. They're going to sit out a wee bit, and then I'm going to stick the wording probably in there somewhere. I might stick some of the, oh my goodness, I've just pulled off a big sparkly. That actually got caught in my nail. So I was about to say I'll use some of these big sparklies maybe up the top there. So clearly we're using that one. But like, do these things have like some sort of like spooky power or something? Like that was weird as well. What is going on today? Right, pan pastels, pan pastels, pan pastels. Let's see what we've got. I'll just bring the whole box, that's easier. Or the whole basket, should I say. The extraordinary one. Oh, I missed that one. What seems ordinary is often extra. Oh, yeah, okay. Now the question is, what colour pan pastel? Ideally, like a burnt orangey brown colour, maybe. For this is for the skull and the hand. Let me see what I've got. I'd never thought I'd say this, but I'm actually running out of space. That's ridiculous. I'm gonna have to do this over here somewhere. Hang on a minute till I rearrange myself a wee bit. Can pop that there and drink my cold tea. Something burnt orangey. Oh, Mr. Chaffinch is here. What are you doing out in the rain? You absolute lunatic. He's just having a wee perch. Sometimes this one Chaffinch, and I know it's the same one because he's little crest, like he's got a wonky feather that always sticks up. And sometimes he just comes and sits and chills out in the like he climbs into the feed like he's getting in a bath, and he just hunkers down and shuts his eyes and has a wee snooze for a wee while. He seems to like hanging out there. Right, that's not the colour I'm looking for at all. I think this is all bright colours. Something burnt orangey or sickly yellow. That's too yellow. It's way too yellow. I don't think this is the stack I'm looking for. This one's broken. I've got to be careful with this top one. This is like an ochre colour. That might work. Let me just. Oh, asking for trouble today. I really am. I'm like dicing with the devil today. Yeah, he's just hanging out. He's looking out though. But yeah, sometimes he comes for a wee snooze. He's quite nice. He's not brave enough to come and like take anything out of my hand or anything like that. But he's if I move about with some of the other birds, if I move about in the cave, they just fly away. But Mr. Chaffinch and his wee wifey Chaffinch, I was thinking more that colour. I think that might be better. Yeah, they'll like kind of hang out. They don't seem to be as frightened as the other birds. So I think that one or that one. I think that was the one that kind of had in my head when I really started looking through them. Or there's that sort of like burnt. It's just having a munch. That sort of like burnt. That's more like an earthy red tone though. Again, the lights might be throwing this off a wee bit. I think probably one of these two. What's no, that's sweet green. Okay, I think one of these two. Oh, Rika likes the orangey one. Yeah, I don't think the red one's the right one. Because I'm just thinking if the pumpkins are there, maybe this one would be better. Yeah, okay. Right, let's get a sheet of paper. Oh look, here's the thing from the inks that we were doing. That was fun. Get my bouton out the road. I was going to say I don't have April in the stream to verify my French, but I'm sure the French for button is bouton. I might just be absolutely making that up, but still. There's a way to fix the broken one. Yellow for highlights, burnt orange. I don't know if I want to spend that much time on it, very honestly. Just saying. Right, let me or maybe I could just layer it up a little bit. Let's see what I've got going on in here. Where are my? I don't know where my little tools have all gone, like the handles for the tools. I don't know where they are. I've got all the little sponges that fit on them. I like all the different shapes, but I don't actually know where any of the handles are. I've obviously made the decision to organise them somewhere into something and then forgotten where I put them. I think maybe we can do a bit of both. If I was to do like a layer of this. That looks better already. We've not even done anything yet. Such a good idea. Whoever suggested the... Was it not you that suggested the pan pastels, Mary? Them teeth. Yeah, see, even just taking the white of the paper away, that looks better already, doesn't it? Rubbing alcohol in small amounts. Mix it with the broken pastel, flatten all out, let it dry. Ooh! Okay. Rubbing alcohol, is that the same as our... Yeah, well, rubbing alcohol is our surgical spirit. I have that and I love the smell of it as well. Right, I will need to remember that. That again, that's probably something that I might be better having assistance with on account of it being potentially catastrophic if I have a hand spasm. Yeah, surgical spirit. And it works because you've tried it. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was to start. That's much better. Right, I think I'm gonna go with your suggestion, though, Mary. Maybe just add in a few wee, just like tiny amounts. Maybe a wee bit in the eye socket and maybe up in there. This is fun. I like this. I feel like I should leave his teeth alone. Leave them teeth. Yeah. Now we learned a lesson from last time as well. We can actually do it on the shiny stuff as well. We just have to make sure we use fixative afterwards. I will have to do that separately. I can't lean out the window today because it's chucking it down. But I will deal with that. It's really the one thing I really like about this house is we've got what I call like a normal garage, like a single car garage that's attached to the side of the house. You can't get into the garage through the house, you have to go outside, but it's actually attached to the building and it's got like a normal garage door on it. So on days like today, I can go and open the garage door, and when it swings open, it creates like an overhang at the front, and I can stand under the overhang and spray the fixative, so I don't get wet. My artwork doesn't get wet. But I'm not technically in an enclosed space either, and don't feel like I'm gonna like my lungs gonna fall out. So that's one of the things I really like about this house, and there is not much I like about this house. So every cloud has a silver lining and all that. Somewhere to spray my fixative. Oh, now that's interesting. It doesn't want to take the. Oh, it really doesn't want to take the red one. That's so strange. No, that's just lifting off. Okay. That's interesting. Nope, that's just not. Okay, we're gonna have to leave that like that then. It still looks better than that though. That's fine. Right, let's put this back on before something disastrous happens. Oh no, I hate this house, Thea. I've never liked this house. I never liked it from the day now I set foot in it. Um, it's funny. I was talking to Mama Jem about it the other night, and our old house, so the last cave, has now been made into like a holiday let, and they've knocked walls down and stuff. And I saw pictures of it online, and I felt, like I kind of felt a certain way about it. It was weird because I really wasn't expecting to have feelings about that at all, but I really did. So that was a bit strange. Um, and I mean, I don't necessarily miss the old house. I don't miss the size of it because it was far, far too big for Mr. Jem and I don't miss the tumble down aspect of it and the draftiness and all the weird quirky stuff. But there was a nice, like, I always talk about houses having auras, and you get a feeling when you walk into a property, especially if it's someone's home. And like, I get vibes off of houses like that. And when I walked into this house the first time, it felt dead. And I said to Mr. Jem straight away, I was like, I don't like this house. Um, Size wise and everything, it's great, and we will get it to a point where it suits us for what we need it for. But I actually don't like this house at all. Really, really don't like it. So there you go. But yeah, the stuff with the old house, that was weird because I like it was feelings I wasn't expecting to have at all. I thought I was completely neutral on that subject, but it turns out I wasn't. On paper, like on paper, the house is perfect for us. That's the thing. Um, Technically, I should really like this house, but I just don't. It's got no character, and yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think as well, this is probably, but see that I was going to say maybe because it's a more modern built house. I'm used to older houses, but one of my favourite houses that I've ever lived in was the very first cave. So that was when I stayed in Fife, and that's been my favouriteest house ever. Like I loved that house. And it was a more modern build. It was a cottage originally, but that had been extended onto. But it changed beyond the point of recognition. You wouldn't know that. And there was no defining characteristics on the inside of the house that would make you think, oh, this is an old building. So it's maybe not that. But yeah, I just the house is weird. It's weird. Many think spaces definitely have their own auras and vibes. Oh, for sure, for sure. Maybe I can breathe some life into it. Well, that's what I was saying to Mama Jem. Like I'm trying really hard to make because I still don't feel as if like this is my home. We've been here a year and a bit, but I might as well be walking through a stranger's house. Do you know what I mean? I've no attachment to it yet. We've not really built any memories, so to speak. And that's something that takes time. But generally, I just don't like the house. You had the same, it can be mine feeling, yeah. But see, we've lived in so many houses as well. Like I know more or less straight away when I walk in somewhere, I'm like, well, either like not necessarily that I want a house, but like yay or nay. Um, that's that's fairly standard for me. I wonder if I'll put one of these in there. Oh, that's got kind of an indent in it. Right, let's try that, see if that works. I can always stack two together, can't I? Do I like the cows on this farm? Yes, very much. I've uh, I've made friends with one of the bulls. There's 3 bulls in the paddock out behind, like that goes directly onto the garden, so you can like reach over the fence and touch them. And I've made one of the bulls my friend, and every time I go out now he comes to see me, which is really nice. The guy we bought him from though told us that he was halter trained as a young bull, so that it makes a lot of sense that he's quite happy for humans to touch him, um, which is nice. Oh, that was my shoulder that popped there. That was not great. Can you hear Jock snoring? No. Oh, that was a terrible idea. That's not very. There we go. He's only snoring gently just now. Okay, so let's do writing in here. 4:30. Has it just been, has this stream gone really quickly today? Where is it? Yeah, we were looking for the sparkle, weren't we? Leave a little sparkle, there you go. I love that that's so literal as well. That's what makes it even funnier. Okay, I'm going to cut this in 2. Oh, Susan's the opposite way around. Susan's first marital home was in East Lothian, which is the county that I live in now. And now she's in Fife. I liked Fife though. Again, we've spoken about this many times. When Mr. Jem and I retire, we won't be staying here. We plan on being here. We're not moving to another farm now. Like this is, in terms of Mr. Jem's working tenure, this will be it. But when we retire, it's just so expensive here. We can get a house like 3 times the size in Fife that we could buy here. It's just so bloody expensive. So we'll probably, I don't know if we'll move back to Fife, Susan, but we'll definitely be moving more in that direction, either Fife, Angus, or Perth area, because I liked all of those places and it's quite central as well. That's so funny. I'm glad we've got an inside joke in a scrapbook now. I don't think I was ever going to tick that off my YouTuber live stream bucket list, but there you go. Right, here's this wonky sparkler thingamadig. What do you call it? Like, what would you actually call these? I don't even know what I would call them. That's the one that was unstuck before. Are they just like, because I would just call them like sticky gems, not like a sticky gem. Bling. Okay. No, yeah, that's good. Good. I like that at least. Flat backed gems. Now, see, when I think of flat backed gems, I think of ones for jewellery making. Um, but I suppose, yeah, okay. Just call them gems. Sticky gems. See, now, oh, that's really sticky as well. Oh, good. I was about to say, can I not unstick that? These are super sticky, these ones. I feel like I'm gonna move this over. Come on, be gone with you. Oh no. Oh! Where did it go? Just can't with this today. I felt that one hit off my hand, like off here, but I don't know where it went. Under the paper. I thought we'd lost another one. And I was like, oh no. Oh, that was funny. I thought we were away again. Now, see, that's just put a wee idea in my head. What did I do with the tiny ones? Getting the tiny ones back out. Glutton for punishment. See these. There's like black lines that run down the paper there. I thought that was my little chaffinch going ham at the feeder. That's the rain I can hear. My God, what miserable. I heard that one. It went that way. This is a terrible idea. I'm having so much fun though. If you moved, it would be north rather than south, yeah. Well, the thing is, you don't want to go too far north because things start getting a bit weird, and that's speaking from experience. Like, I wouldn't move back to where we were at the last cave in Angus. I used to call it bandit country. It's a little bit too far north for my liking, but the very bottom part of Angus is very nice. Yeah, Thea would move further away from the city, not too far because I can't drive and need stores close by. Oh, the thing is, you could always learn to drive. It's never too late to learn to drive. Oh. Oh yeah, this is a great idea. I like this now. I'm having fun now. I don't know how many of these I'm going to continue to ping about while I do this, but do you know what? I'm okay with it. Oh, which way round are you? Oh, knocking things about. I think I'll just stick with sticky gems. I mean, to call them what to call them. Sticky gems sounds okay. They're so small, but I love like the subtleness of them. Just to budge over a wee bit. That's it. I tried once, did you, Thea? I didn't know that. Black Rose got her license. Oh, did you pass your driving test, Black Rose? I didn't know that. Congratulations. Got so overwhelmed, didn't see the big damn truck next to me and almost crashed into it. Yeah, listen, that's not a thing. That's what learning's all about. My instructor had to use her emergency brake like dual controls, so she had to use her emergency foot brake because I nearly pulled out in front of like an 18-wheeler truck on a roundabout and just didn't see it. These things happen. On the plus side, I did have no problem passing my test after that incident. I've been driving a long time now. I passed my test when I just turned 18 and no more. So I've been driving a very long time now, and obviously I'm used to driving quite a different and diverse range of vehicles as well, which is nice. But I enjoy driving. Like I like it. Susan, you on the blackout. Oh, okay, so I thought you'd go that way. No, I don't think you would now. Yeah, okay, I get that. Minnie's mum didn't learn until she was 40. Yeah, I quite often tell people about my uncle. My uncle learned to drive really late in life, which is weird because he rode motorbikes for years and worked on boats as well. Just never learned to drive a car, and he was well into his 40s when he learned to drive. I think he might have been like 45-ish. I must ask him. So this is Mama Jem's like youngest brother, and he said that he wished he'd done it sooner, and he said it's one of those things that was never a problem, but once he learned to drive, he then felt like how did he manage before kind of thing, and he wouldn't want to go back to not having a car and not driving. And I always say that to everyone. I'm like, my uncle learned to drive really, really late and had no regrets. Yeah, no, I understand that as well, Thea. My friend, she did the same. She stayed in a city basically since she was about 16 or 17, and having a car is more of an inconvenience than a help. Um, Totally different situation if you live in a city. Whereas if you live somewhere like here, like I do, like you have to learn to drive. You have to. and all the kids, like the minute they turn 17, which is when you can start to learn to drive a car on a road here, at the minute the kids turn 17, they've already got a car. They've either saved up for one. Most parents will like do a deal with their kids and say, you know, something like if the kids save up X amount of money, the parents will match it so that they can get something half decent, or they have access to like a second family car. You know, if you've got one person that commutes to work, there's a second vehicle. The kids normally get to drive that. But you're very, very limited, and you don't have much in the way of independence as an older teenager here if you don't have a driving license. So, and plus as well, now that something I've noticed as well, the bone of contention for us was always the toss up between wanting to drive everywhere, which I did because I like driving, but also drinking as well. So you had to decide, you know, what side you were going to go on, and you had to make sure that you had a designated driver, you know, if you were going to parties and stuff. Whereas now the young ones don't drink the way we did as teenagers, so that's not a consideration for them. Whereas we used to like fight amongst ourselves about who was going to drive, and none of us would ever, you know, drink and drive going to a party. But yeah, there was we ended up like we had to take it in turns, kind of thing. But just really, really different dynamics. But yeah, like kids at like 7, 16, especially like farming kids are desperate because they're already driving tractors at 16. They're driving out on the road in tractors in 16 because that's legal. But they can't drive a car. So by the time they get to 17, they're like, I want my license right now. Really, really interesting. Right, I don't know, am I finished? I might be finished here, guys. Let me put these sticky little bandits away before anything else pings about. That way round. Ulrika started learning split flex, needed the cat, and that's the thing now, and you know it's something that I have no experience of, but from my friend learning to drive, it is so expensive to learn to drive now. Like it's ridiculously expensive to learn to drive now, whereas back in the dark ages when I learned to drive, it wasn't. That's something I was talking to someone about that as well, and a conversation about one of my ex-boyfriends cropped up, and it's someone I haven't actually thought about at all for years and years. But he was one of the only relationships that I was in where he didn't drive, and it was actually like I didn't like it, and I realised that that would be a thing for me. Maybe not a deal breaker, but like a serious consideration about dating someone else. Um, he never expected me to like chauffeur him around or anything, but the sheer amount of money he spent on trains and taxis, it was cheaper for me to go and pick him up. And when we were like looking at moving in together, you're looking at your financials, and I hated being in that sort of stuck in the middle position where he wasn't actually asking me to. He would never say you need to drive me here or you need to that he wasn't that person. He was very, very nice. um but financially we could be much better off, you know, if I did go, and there became this sort of moral obligation, and I hated it. And it was never an inconvenience, but on reflection after that relationship ended, it was something I was like, if I meet someone else and they don't drive and they don't ever want to learn to drive, that you know that might be something that might stop me considering it in a like a serious capacity. Um, but that, I mean, that's just preference and opinion. Again, if I lived in a city, I probably wouldn't have that point of view, honestly. But I just thought that was really interesting because it's not something I've ever thought about, like on my 40 years on the planet. It's just never ever been a thing. But I was like, okay. It's amazing how you find these things out about yourself when you're old. Everything's getting expensive. Yeah, it is. But we when I look at the price of the driving lessons and even the insurance costs, and we actually did a bit of an exercise. My third car. My first car, my first car didn't make it to my test. It was ancient, and it died on me before I got to my driving test. My second car I wrote off. Uh, and my third car was a lot bigger I had a Honda Civic. I had a hot hatch Honda Civic, and it was purple and it was lovely. Um, but that was quite a big, fast, flashy car because I was only 19 at that point, and I paid over the odds for the insurance at that time, which was an outrageous sum of money at the time. And we extrapolated that figure into like the equivalent now for someone at 19 driving a car with a claim for a crash. And I mean, it was ridiculous, and there's no way, like absolutely no way, anyone at 19 would be able to afford to do that now. So yeah, things obviously have gotten more expensive, but there's certain things that have jumped up disproportionately, and this stuff for new drivers, especially young new drivers, it's like I totally understand why younger people especially are just like, no, I'm not doing that. Because again, the younger you are, the less likely you are to have the disposable income to do it, especially if it's something that you don't, that isn't a necessity, you know? Being chauffeured around. You don't do your driving test in a driving school car. Yes, you do. You can set your driving test in your own car as well. I would say what's normal here, especially for the younger ones, not necessarily somebody like around our age, like 30 to 40. But what you would do is you would have lessons. You buy a block of lessons, and you'll maybe take one or two lessons a week. And in between times, your parents or trusted person would take you out to practice. And that's why a lot of the kids have a car or are planning on having a car so that they can practice in between. You can do an intensive driving test here as well, where you go every day, like you basically go like a full-time job. And I think it's like a week or 2 weeks, and then you sit your test at the end of it. Um, but yeah, no, you go out and practice, and you have the choice. I had a friend who failed her test something like 3 or 4 times, sitting in her instructor's car, and then when she sat her test in her own car, she passed first time, no problem. So she said that she didn't understand it because obviously when she went out on her driving lessons, she was in her driving instructor's car and everything was fine, but she was practicing with her mum in her own car, and it must have just been a nerves thing, and that the instructor actually suggested it to her, and she's like, I know you can drive, like, and I know you can drive well. I don't know what's going on. Why don't you try driving and sit your test in your own car? And that worked the magic for her. Thea says, I wonder if I could get a special permit to take a driving test in an automatic. Well, I don't know how it works in Austria, but here you can sit your test for an automatic only license. Um, and again, that's it's not common. I won't say it's common, because if you sit a standard driving test, it allows you to drive a manual or an automatic. But you can sit for an auto only license here, and it's quite common in people with physical disabilities. Also, things like dyspraxia. I know someone who's dyspraxic that has an auto only license, and I'm sure I told the story about my uni friend who was dyspraxic. Well, I mean, he still is, it's not was, but he was determined to sit his full test in a manual because he wanted to prove that they could do it. But yeah, that's totally a thing here, so you'll need to look that up for Austria. Black Rose says, here in Germany we can't do the driving test in our own car, and our parents can't do practice with us either. Has to be a driving instructor. Wow, that's interesting. Patty's dad was a policeman and told him to take lessons because he didn't want to pass on his bad habits. Elise took driving lessons in public high school. That's amazing. I would imagine they would, Thea. You should find out just out of interest, and they can satisfy all our curiosities. But yeah, I'm sure you can. Right, okay. I'm satisfied now. This has turned out better. Like I feel as if it's got a bit more depth to it now, and I'm pretty happy with that. We've got a couple of minutes left, so I'll just switch back to the old face. See, you can see it's much cooler looking now. That's how much the lighting makes the desk look cozy, because it's actually quite dull and horrible here. Yeah, you can't practice with your parents. Well, learning to drive at school, my goodness. See, that's a life skill though. I agree with that. Austria has the L17. You can start at 16, practice with your parents in their car, and once you're 17, have the necessary kilometres driven, which is also good. You can take the test. Interesting. Very interesting. I find well, see the way they get around it here is you have to have because I know it works differently in America. Um but if you are it basically as long as your insurance covers it, you can do what you want. So for instance, if you were like a high school kid and you were learning to drive, you wouldn't go and get an insurance policy because it would be really, really expensive. Your parents or someone in your family would put you on their insurance as a named driver. So you would have access basically to their insurance for that vehicle through them. And that's like the commonest and cheapest way to do it for inexperienced or learner drivers. So it's actually the insurance that allows you to do it. Well, obviously the law allows you to do it, but that's the way that you would do it. And you can learn to drive in any car as long as you're covered by insurance. So it doesn't matter if it's a 3.5 litre pickup truck or whether it's a 1 litre Ford Fiesta or Opel Corsa or what. Like, it doesn't matter. Um, so yeah. Black Rose says there's special practice places where you can, but only go at 30 kilometres per hour. That doesn't help if you're already driving on the road with your teacher. Okay. Jan only went out once before her test with her mum, just once. I think taking a tight bend onto a bridge still in fourth gear and telling her that I could either steer or change gear, but not both decided it. Oh, that's amazing. I love learning all this stuff about different countries. Like, this is really interesting. I do think as well, though, like just with all of you talking about your experiences and stuff and the varying states of driving, I do think there are people that are naturally inclined to driving, and some people are naturally better and or more confident drivers than other people. The person that springs to mind is my mother-in-law. She is a good driver, and she drives when she has to, and even if it's a long distance, she's okay with that. But she would rather not drive. If there's someone else available to drive, she would prefer that they drive rather than her. And she would be a person to say that, oh no, it's okay, you do it. And it's like, I just think for some people it comes really naturally, and other people have to work really hard at it. And because I was asking Mum and Papa Jem about it, and both of them are like me, and Mama Jem makes the joke that from the day she passed her driving test, that her backside didn't leave the seat of her car for about 6 months, and when she stood up it was like perfectly shaped in her, and like in the shape of her bum cheeks. And she drove everywhere, but it's because she really enjoyed it and she wanted to, and I'm exactly the same. I've got no problem driving long distances either. It's just like not a thing. Mr. Jem's like that also. But I know quite a few people who can drive and do drive and will drive, but they're not necessarily um, particularly adept. And I tend to find that those people are the safest drivers because they're much more cautious. Yeah, you really shouldn't because the car's not balanced. Yeah, change gear going around corners all the time. To be fair, I haven't driven a manual. How long have I had that pickup? 4 years? 5 years? Mr. Jem's pickup's a manual. Mine's an automatic. Makes you quite lazy though. Like getting to Mr. Jem's truck and I'm like, oh, there's a clutch. It's quite funny. It doesn't seem to be a problem though. Like you just kind of do it. Black Rose bought her driving school car. Patty says I'd rather someone else drive, but because you don't drink, okay. Do you know we were really pushed into just sitting the advanced driving test, Jan, because it used to. I don't know if it still does, but again, as a teenage driver, it brought your insurance premium down, and we were basically told like that's the best thing that you can do. Black Rose definitely has its perks if you're dating your driving instructor. That's funny. Oh, you guys are amazing. Oh, jeez. Do you know what? I tell you what, I am roasting with this on now. I'm starting to get really warm. I thought I would get cold sitting here, but the opposite has happened. I like it as well because you guys know how I'm about cuffs. Like I don't really like cuffs, but it's just little pop studs. But the fabric's thin enough that you can turn them up properly, and you don't look like you've wrapped a car tire around your arm. So I kind of like them. I kind of like them that they're quite versatile. I've got one in it's the same colour inside, but the actual check's more like burnt oranges, like these the colours in the scrapbook page that we did last time. Mum and Dad were both advanced drivers, so after Mum died, I used some of her legacy to pay for. Oh, you don't have to marry your driving teacher. At least, are you asking me if I'm going to do a Lego? Well, I'm assuming you're asking me if I'm going to do a Lego live build. Probably not. I've thought about it before, because especially in the winter months, I tend to build a bit more Lego. Um, Honestly though, see for me because of my hand as well, it's a very slow process for me. There's a lot of dropping bricks and there's a lot of struggling sometimes to get them into place. So I don't know if that's something I would really want to stream. I don't think it would be a very interesting stream, honestly. But I know that some of you are like quite into stuff like that. But I mean, I'll consider it. But I'm not really that keen on that idea. I don't think personally that I would find that enjoyable. And unless you've done live streaming before. I was talking to Claire about this at one point from Colour with Claire, and Claire kind of feels the same way about live streaming that I do. Like, we enjoy it in the moment, but we find it very mentally exhausting. And I don't know if I would want to chuck Lego into the mix with that as well because you don't want to not enjoy it, you know. And there's always that sort of element of work about it. She says sitting here with her cold tea kicking back, but there's preparation involved, and there's always a wee bit of pressure on you, and then you've got to make sure your technology stuff's not going to die on you. Um, so I don't know. There comes a point where you're like, okay, we could count the dropped pieces and take a drink whenever. Oh, so basically, you want to do a Lego live stream and turn it into a drinking game? Is that what you're telling me, Thea? Oh, hi, Claire. Hello. Were your ears burning there? Is that what it was? That is really funny. Amazon Prime Day was bad for me because I bought a Lego Millennium Falcon. Do you know, Patty, I saw that on the Prime Day sale as well, and you were the first person that popped into my head because Mr. Jem mentioned it to me and he's like, do you not want this? And I'm like, no, that's not my thing at all. And then I was in my mind, I was like, Patty would like that. Yeah, so I don't know. I think Claire says ears burning. No, we were just talking about. I was just saying that you and I were talking about live streams, and we were talking about how mentally it's quite tiring. And although you enjoy it in the moment, it's not something you would want to have to do all the time, because it would be exhausting and you would end up not enjoying it. But I tell you what though, right, let's just go back to the Lego thing for a little minute. If you guys want to do, we'll make it a weekend stream, we'll do it in an evening. If you want to have a Lego drinking game stream, I would 100% be up for that because you all know that if you start involving alcohol, then it instantly makes me go, yeah, okay. But I'll need to pick next and I'm like, what would I build? I'll need to pick something to build. Yeah, it really is. Like, see, when I finish a stream, I'm kind of like still wound up for about an hour afterwards, and if Mr. Jem comes in, I kind of like offload onto him a little bit, and I blah, everything out my mouth, and then see about an hour afterwards, I just crash, like I totally bomb, and I'm just really, really tired, and that's the end for me, kind of thing. So I wouldn't want to do anything particularly technically taxing, um, and doing something like Lego, if you're going to do it as like a drinking game, that's kind of different because the focus shifts a little bit. It's not like laser focused on what it is you're actually physically doing. So I would probably entertain that if it was a bit more of a party atmosphere. A charity Lego drinking game stream. I don't think Jem being drunk would help with her dexterity, but interesting you should say that. I've never paid attention to how good my hand is when I'm drunk because obviously I'm not really thinking about it if I'm drunk. But there's a huge difference between being a bit squiffy, which is where I like to be, and being drunk. Although I don't know, the last time we did a caveman stream, by the end of the stream, I was pretty far on, wasn't I? Clear, and I have to be really quiet and not have anyone talk to me. Yeah, like so. But you do what we call, I go into my den. Like I go and make a den. It's like a quiet room or sit with a cup of tea and yeah, that's so funny. I thought it was just me that did stuff like that. Claire, you make me feel like a normal person. Thank you. That happened to me all the time too when I streamed on Twitch some years ago. Yeah, like it's quite an odd experience. It's not terrible though, and it's not a bad thing, and it doesn't stop you doing it, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here, doing this just now. But it's just there is a downside to it, and for people like me, that's one of the downsides. On a night like tonight, where Mr. Jem's out working late, it's not too bad because I can just kind of like sit and stew my own juices, and it doesn't matter how tired I am. Cottage pie's already made, so you know. But yeah, there is a thing to it. Drunken streams sound quite dangerous. I think I've done okay with the streams where I've been drinking up till now because there's been quite a few of them. Okay, let's have a poll. Let's just stay. How many people have we got? We've got 20 people. That's enough for it. Now they've moved all the buttons again. I wish they would stop. I wish they would stop doing this. Where is my engage with your audience? That's what I was looking for. Right where? Lego. A yay or a nay? I think I kind of know what the outcome of this is going to be already. But here. Patty liked the Scottish slang stream with Mama Jem. That was hilarious. Like to this day, that is one of the funniest things because I didn't think I was going to recover myself from laughing. And the problem as well is, see, when Mama Jem starts laughing, her laugh makes me laugh more because it's so ridiculous. That was very good fun. I had such a good time that night. Ulrika says, "Oh, Jem, by the way, I've not had a single advert during this live stream." Really? Really? That's quite interesting because see before I set this up, I put the because if you remember in the last one I turned the ads down to low. I put it back to like in the middle this time. So that's quite interesting. Honestly, I think they just do what they want with the ads. Colour with Claire says that's a great idea. Should do Nottingham East Midlands slang. Honestly, Claire, it's really good fun. What we did was I got Mama Jem to write a whole load of Scottish slang words and put them in an envelope. So I hadn't seen them. I was blind to them, and then I basically explained them to people. And for ones that I didn't know, because there was quite a few old-fashioned words as well, I had to drink basically. But I didn't know that Mama and Papa Jim, because that was at Christmas time and they're always like with us at Christmas. But I didn't realise initially that they were sitting on the stairs outside the door into the cave. And they were laughing at me laughing, and I could hear my mum laughing, which made me laugh more. And it all got very silly, but it was good. It was really, really good fun. And I think everybody learned some new words as well. Because the thing I like about Scottish words in particular is that they're very descriptive, and a lot of the time people know what you're saying, even if they don't know the word, because they are very descriptive. I think we're quite lucky that way. Wasn't that the first Cavemas charity stream? I think it might have been actually. It was. It was really good. I really enjoyed myself. It's quite funny. Stuff like that. There's just a bit of silliness as well, though. I know. To be fair though, like it's sometimes if I start laughing, it kind of like tips me over the edge, and I can't compose myself again. That's happened a couple of times in streams, and that's the kind of thing. Although we enjoy ourselves, like we all enjoy ourselves all of the time when we're here. Otherwise, you wouldn't come and watch the stream. But there's just those little like gold moments every now and then. But you've done a good job if I get to the point where I'm struggling to compose myself again. The one that sticks out in my mind was the quiche comments. And I think that was Yvonne and someone else. And I just couldn't with the quiche comments. That was just too much for me. It was hilarious. We are pretty silly though. We're not scared to go to gutter level either. Well, surprise, surprise, the poll says 100% yes. Okay. Maybe, right, how do we feel then? How do we feel about doing that around the festive period then? I'm not doing Cavemas. I am not doing Cavemas, but I was thinking about maybe having a couple of like like a festive special for a couple of days or something. So we could do it near then, and that would give us time to decide what we wanted to see being built. I've got a couple of things that are like mid-sized. In fact, I'm sure I've got Christmas Lego kits that I haven't built yet. Right, I'll need to get back to you on that one. But that sounds like a good time to do it as well, because building Lego would be something that you would want a bit of a longer stream. You'd maybe want 3.5 hours, something like that. Ideally to get something finished in that time scale, so we could do that. That's it, Ulrika. You can wear that badge with honour. You've officially had an A+ from Thea for incorporating the moo puns. Well done. Jan says on the way into school today, we said it looked dreich, but none of us were Scottish, but it was just the right word to use. But that's okay. Dreich is like lock at CH at the end. But other than that, your spelling's correct. Well done, gold star to you. Okay, right. So we can do a Christmas time stream, and we'll do Lego. We'll do it for charity as well. We will. Okay. Right, good. I like that. The other thing I was going to say to you guys as well, just while we're talking about Christmas, there'll be no Wednesday stream next week because I'm not here. Hopefully, I'm basking in some beautiful sunshine, although the weather forecast isn't looking like that's going to happen. I have another Christmas job coming up, and it's to decorate a window display for Christmas time. Do you guys, in the next live stream that we have, so that will be into November, do you want to help me design the Christmas window? Is that a thing, or would that be boring? Festive fun. We do like the festive fun. Yes, yes. Okay. Right, yeah, I like that too. Again, I didn't know, like, because for those of you that do come in regularly on a Wednesday, it's the same wee group of you, and you guys really seem to like going through that sort of thought and the actual like design process part, and you're all usually quite vocal and quite into having your input, used. So if that's something that you would like, then I would be happy to make that part of one of the Wednesday live streams. As if we would say no. Did they like the Christmas cards? They've not arrived yet, Elise. They're in the mail. I should have them and they should be distributed by the weekend. Yeah, you guys are a great team. You really, really are. Oh my god, we need t-shirts. Cave design team. You're like my honorary staff members. Or maybe I'm just like a business genius and I'm stealing all your ideas and taking the credit for it. Did you ever think of that? No? No, I do. I really appreciate your input, and it's nice that we can do things like that. But it's not something I would ever force upon you in a live stream. Like I would want you to want to be part of it, kind of thing. Oh, my phone's ringing. Who dis? It's it's Papa Jem. I'll phone him back in a minute. Jem's the coach. Do we have a Thanksgiving type holiday? No. The closest thing we've got to that, which isn't really a holiday, so to speak, is Guy Fawkes night, so fireworks night, which is the 5th of November. But that's not the same thing at all. But yeah, there's usually, admit that's one thing Mr. Jem and I really like to do is go to like an organised fireworks display, and it's something we've always done. I think because like just to the nature of Mr. Jem's job, like we don't have a lot of time to socialise together and like do date nights and stuff. And even when we do, one or both of us is usually really tired. But going out for some fireworks, we can leave the house for like an hour or two, and it's usually not too late on at night. So that's something we've always done, and we really enjoy going to fireworks displays. Oh, of course, Nye, yeah, you get to enjoy that this year. I think, oh, Nye, this is so exciting for you. Right, guys, I'm gonna have to wrap this up here. I'm now gonna have to phone Papa Jem back. Oh, such an inconvenience. The proper bonfire night is good. Yes, it's good. Okay, guys, thanks very much for coming and joining me. And I've had really good fun today. If I find the mystery sparkle, I will let you all know. But I think honestly, it's probably lost in the depths of the cave forever. I might find it like stuck inside my ear or something in like a week's time. There will be a couple of videos next week when I'm not here. I'm not leaving you high and dry, but just no live stream next Wednesday. And I'll catch up with you all the following week, and all the stuff will be ready to go in the stash shop as well. So if you want to buy yourself some Aqua Buddy stickers or some Christmas cards, etc., that stuff will all be there. Other hands are out. Good job, guys. Loving all the other hands as well. Yay! Okay, right. I'm going to go and tip out the rest of my cold tea, and I'll see you guys back here in the cave at some point really soon. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Bye bye.